Hare Krishna. Let's make a start with Radha Madhav. Jayo Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Yashodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraj Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hari Hari Bol. Om Gyantirmihasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshurmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Sam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajim Sadvitam Savdutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vichakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranvami Haripriya Pancha Kalpatra Prihascha Kirpa Sindhuvevacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Krishna Pasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Ti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatav Mandashi Gurudin Taranam Paramananda Madham Shirtanya Ishram Taram Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naruttamam Devim Sasvityasam Tato Madhuriyat Nasta Prishabdureshu Nityam Bhagavata-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtaki Hare Krishna. Right, so let's continue. Let's see where we are. So last time we discussing that Ashwatthama released the second. He didn't learn his lesson. He once again released the Brahmastra, and he's like the kind of person, even after punishment, they don't learn, and it's like the lowest of mankind. And at times when we don't have any control over anything, we turn to Krishna, because he's the ultimate protector and he will do anything even break his vow to help us, like he did with the Pandavas. Okay, so we are 14. Right, here we go. Antahasta sarvabhutanam atma yogeshwar hari swamaya ya varno garabham vyaritayaha kuru tantave. So anta hastha being within, sarva all, bhutanam of the living beings, atma soul, yogeshwara the Lord of the all mysticism, Hari the Supreme Lord, Sava Maya by the present energy, Avarnat covered, Garbham embryo, Vyarateha of Uttara, Kuru Tantave for the progeny of Maharaj Kuru, the Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna resides within everyone's heart as the Paramatma. As such, just to protect the progeny of the Kuru dynasty, he covered the embryo Uttara by his personal energy. So the Lord of Supreme Mysticism can simultaneously reside within everyone's heart or even within the atoms. He can be biggest than the biggest, it can be smaller than the smallest, and atoms are the smallest, and the atom can be split as well, and he can still reside within the split atom as well. By his Paramatma feature, his plenary portion. Therefore, from within the body of Uttara, he covered the embryo to save Maharaj Parikshit and protect the progeny of Maharaj Kuru, of whom King Pandu was also a descendant. Both the sons of Dhritarashtra and those of Pandu belong to the same dynasty of Maharaj Kuru. Therefore, both of them were generally known as the Kurus or the Kauravas, Kurus, I guess, in this case. But when there were differences between the two families, the sons of Dhritarashtra were known as Kurus, and whereas the sons of Pandu were now known as the Pandavas. So that was the split. Since the sons and grandsons of Dhritarashtra were all killed in the battle of Kurukshetra, the last son of the dynasty is designated as the son of the Kurus now, because he's the only one left. So, it doesn't matter anymore. There is no difference left. So it's mentioned that Krishna can protect you from outside and inside. He is within and without. His capacity to protect is much greater than anyone else. The Pandavas didn't have this capacity. They could not lift their weapons, which would have no effect against the Brahmastra anyway, although they were great warriors. But when it came to this subtle fighting, there's not much, say, like Bhim, who's stronger than 1,000 elephants, that what he can do. There's not much you can do at that stage. And even Arjuna couldn't do anything because it's too late. So, but Krishna can do anything at any time. Yadyapi yastram brahma shiras tav amogham chaprati kriyam vaishnavam teja asadya samsha mayad brigu dvaha. Yadyapi, although astram weapon, brahma shriha supreme too, but amogham without check, cha and aprati kriyam not to be counteracted, Vaishnavam in relation with Vishnu, Tejaha strength, Asadya being confronted with Samshamayam, Samshamayat was neutralized. Brigu Uddhava, O glory of the family of Brigu. O Shanaka, glory of Brigu's family, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwathama was irresistible and without check or contraction, it was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu. in the Bhagavad-Gita it is said that the Brahmjyoti or the glowing transcendental effulgence is resting on Lord Sri Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but the rays of the Lord, just as the sun rays are rays of the sun disk. So this Brahma weapon, also although materially resistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. The weapon called Brahma Astra, released by Ashwatthama, was neutralized and foiled by Lord Sri Krishna by his own energy. That is to say, he did not wait for any other's help because he is absolute. And also mentioned that Maharaj Parikshit folded his hands in the womb when he saw the Lord. Just even as an embryo, he folded his hands to pay respects to Krishna when he saw him. But now, this one interesting thing here is that it says, although we mentioned Lord Krishna even at the end, it says, foiled by Lord Sri Krishna by his own energy. And earlier on, it's, if I remember correctly, where is that? In the translation, it says it was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu. And in brackets, it says Lord Krishna. So all this fighting and protecting is done by the Lord's expansion of Vishnu. Vishnu is the one who does all the fighting and defense. He's the warrior within Krishna. So when Krishna comes to the material world, all these energies and all his expansions, they come with him inside his body, and he can use Vishnu whenever he needs to. Krishna doesn't do the fighting. Krishna just likes to do pastimes. That's what he does best, pastimes, because he has his energies to do the other things as required, as much as and as when required. He will use the appropriate energy. So, strength of Vishnu. It doesn't say strength of Krishna, strength of Vishnu. He's the warrior version of Sri Krishna. Ma mamsthahi etad ascharyam sarvascharya maye achute ya idam maya devya sajati avati hanti ajha. So ma do not, mamstaha think, he certainly etad all these, Ascharya, wonderful, Sarva, all, Ascharya-may, in the all mysterious, Aschute, the infallible, Ya, one who, Idam, this creation, Maya, by his energy, Devya, transcendental, Sajati, creates, Avati, maintains, Hanti, annihilates, Ajha, unborn. O Brahmanas, don't think that this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible person of Godhead. Simple thing for him. By his own transcendental energy, he creates, maintains, and annihilates all material things, although he himself is the unborn. Interesting. So the activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the tiny brain of the living entities. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us, and thus he is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is the all-powerful, all-perfect personality of Godhead. The Lord is 100% perfect, whereas others, namely Narayan, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, and all other living beings possess only different percentage of such perfection. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. And in fact, it's one of our offenses Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Brahma, Lord Shiva, to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Well, here he says even Vishnu is not equal or greater than Krishna. Krishna is the greatest. Even namely Narayan is only had 60 qualities, where Krishna has 64 qualities compared. So Krishna is the supreme and is Bhagwan. And so next one. Brahma Tejo Vinimukte Atam Jahi Saha Krishnaya Prayana Vi Mukham Krishnam Idam Aha Pratha Sati. Brahma Teja, the radiation of the Brahmastra. Vinir Muktihi, being saved from Atam Jahi, along with her sons, Saha with Krishnaya, Draupadi, Prayana, outgoing, Abhimukham, towards Krishnam, unto Lord Krishna. Idam, this Aha said, Pritha Kunti, Sati, chaste devotee to the Lord. So, we're saying that Krishna is supreme. I mean, this is the proof here, because like other people may not, other sampradayas may not agree that Krishna is supreme. They say Vishnu is supreme. Or some say the impersonal Brahman is supreme. But here's the evidence in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that Krishna is the supreme. Just in the last verse is telling us that nobody compares to Krishna. The rest of them, they are his energies. Right? They're coming from him, and he can make them any, like we give the example of the powerhouse, and then you have the transformed grids to various, you can have like 420 volts, you can have 240 volts, according to requirement. So Krishna is the powerhouse, and then the rest of our energies are his grids, according to what he needs them to do, what the service is. So he's the main source. And Krishna says, I'm the source of everything. So, thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons, and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home. So, Krishna has saved the embryo of Uttara, the grandson of Arjun, and I think once again he was like something came up, so he had to deal with it, and once again he's ready to make his way home. Kunti is described here as Sati, or chaste, due to her unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Her mind will now be expressed in the following prayers for Lord Krishna. A chaste devotee of the Lord does not look to others, namely any other living being or demigod, even for deliverance from danger. That was all along the characteristic of the whole family of the Pandavas. They knew nothing except Krishna, and therefore the Lord was always ready to help them in all respects and in all circumstances. So when you are fully surrendered to Krishna, then he will fully help you 100%. If you are 100%, then he will also be 100% for you. So he says here that Lord was always ready to help them in all respects and in all circumstances. That is a transcendental nature. Excuse me. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotee. One should not therefore look for help from imperfect living beings or demigods. But one should look for all help from Lord Krishna, who is competent to save his devotees. Such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help, in fact. But the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it. So, unalloyed devotee is not looking for anything from the Lord. He just wants to serve. But Krishna, he looks after his devotee, as we say, is Bhakta-Vatsalya. He's always looking after and looking out for his devotees. It's mentioned that only take shelter of Krishna and no one else, and the Lord takes charge and changes your destiny to go back home, back to Godhead. Never doubt Krishna. He is Rakshishati Vishvaso, having faith that only the Lord is the protector. So we've got to be without doubts, we've got to be 100%. So if we have doubts, then we should clear them. This is the whole thing, why we listen to classes, why we go to Sunday programs, and why we listen to exalted devotees, so we can ask them questions, clear our doubts, so we can be 100% in our mind, in our service, and not sit on the fence or 1 foot out of the door. Should be completely surrendered in body, in mind, thoughts, intelligence, everything should be totally surrendered. 18. Kunti vacha namasya purusham tvadyam ishwaram prakrithe param alakshyam sarva bhutanam antar bahir avistitam. Kunti vacha. Srimati Kunti said, Namaste, Namaste, let me bow down, Purusham, the Supreme Person, Tva, you, Adyam, the original, Ishwaram, the controller, Prakriti of the material cosmos, Param, beyond, Alakshyam, the invisible, Sarva, all Bhutanam of living beings, Anta, within, Bahi, without, Avistitam, existing. Srimati Kunti said, O Krishna, I offer my obeisances unto you because you are the original personality and are unaffected by the qualities of the material world. You are existing both within and without. Everything, yet you are invisible to all. Srimati Kunti Devi was quite aware that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. So Kunti knew everything. She was enlightened person. Although he was playing the part of her nephew, such an enlightened lady could not commit a mistake by offering obeisances onto her nephew. Therefore, she addressed him as the original Purusha beyond the material cosmos. Although all living entities are all transcendental, they are neither original nor infallible. The living entities are apt to fall down under the clutches of material nature, but the Lord is never like that. In the Vedas, therefore, he is described as the chief among all living entities. Nityo Nityanam Chetanash Chetananam. Then again, he is addressed as Ishvara, or the controller. The living entities or demigods like Chandra and Surya are also, to some extent, Ishvara, like small Ishvaras. But none of them is the supreme Ishvara. We are, everybody's king or a god in their own little world, but the supreme Ishvara or the ultimate controller is Krishna himself. He is the Param Ishvara. He is the only one who is known as Parameshwar, or the Super Soul. He is both within and without. Although he was present before Srimati Kunti as her nephew, he was also within her and everyone else as Paramatma. In the Bhagavad-Gita 50:50, the Lord says, I am situated in everyone's heart, and only due to me one remembers, forgets, and is cognizant. Through all the Vedas I am to be known, because I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the teacher of the Vedanta. Queen Kunti affirms that the Lord, although both within and without all living beings, is still invisible. The Lord is, so to speak, a puzzle for the common man. Queen Kunti experienced personally that the Lord Krishna was present before her, yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Ashwatthama Brahmastra. So, Queen Kunti experienced personally that Lord Krishna was present before her, and yet he was also at the same time able to enter within the womb of Uttara. So, because he has his energies, he had Vishnu, he can just go and do this. Yet he entered within the womb of Uttara to save her embryo from the attack of Ashwatthama's Brahmastra. Kunti herself was puzzled about whether Shri Krishna is all-pervasive or localized. In fact, he is both, but he reserves the right of not being exposed to persons who are not surrendered souls. This checking curtain is called the Maya energy of the Supreme Lord, and it controls the limited vision of the rebellious soul. It is explained as follows. So 18. See if I have anything here. See, there's a... Okay, so Queen Kunti, she started to glorify the Lord, and she's saying that you are everywhere and yet you are here, and you don't show yourself to the Muras who don't have faith in you. Even in Bhagavad-Gita, right at the end, it's mentioned that Lord Sri Krishna, he himself says that people who don't have faith in me don't bother. He doesn't bother associate with them. There's a verse, idam te na tapakskya na bhaktastaya kadachana na chashu shur shave vachyam na cha mamyo vyasyati. So which means that this competence and knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. So this is 18.67. Right at the end, Krishna is saying that these kind of people who don't believe in austerity or devotion and are envious type of people, don't bother with those people, because they will misinterpret everything about the Lord. So it's best to avoid these kind of people and let them somehow or other, and in some lifetime, purify themselves and come make their way on the right path, and then they will be able to understand Krishna and to realize Krishna. So he says just avoid them, and because otherwise they will just make mockery or everything, like the Kauravas. Krishna was right in front of them, yet they couldn't see him or understand him. So it's like that. And Kunti Mata, she has glorified Krishna, and we'll discuss more. Obviously now coming on to the prayers, we'll go through them more extensively. So we'll leave it here for today, and would like to hear from yourselves and how Krishna is protecting his devotees and he's always there. He wants to reciprocate. That's what he does. Is you know, he has so many energies. He has so much patience. He's always ready to help, and he wants to help his devotees because he feels that they're doing so much for me. I should do something for them as well. And but with the gopis, Krishna was a bit lost because he said, I can't repay you gopis because they were like, way beyond anyone's expectations. The devotion of the gopis, it cannot be imitated. That is the highest worship, the highest devotion, that they will give up anything and everything for the Lord. And even if he rejects them, like is mentioned the Sixtastikam, Alisya Vāpada, like that, it says that even if you reject us, most of us, if we are doing something with Krishna, we are expecting some help from him, expecting something back from him. But the gopis say that even if you don't give us anything, you reject us, we will still be yours. We don't want nothing from you. You can actually go to someone else and we will still be yours. We not say, no, if Krishna loves us, then we love him back. We will love you under all circumstances. So thank you so much. Like to hear from yourselves. Start with Puntikaksh Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. Yeah, few points I made note when you was reading Prabhuji. Lord does not wait for others' help because he is absolute. So today morning I was reading about like qualities of Krishna from Nectar Devotion. So it is mentioned that like Sandev Muni is teaching Vedas to Krishna Bhagavan. So Prabhupada mentioned it is like rivers going into ocean. So everything is coming from him. So what you're just, it's like merging of rivers into ocean. Krishna is ocean and we are just like rivers going to ocean. And nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord and mystical. So today morning we are reading Madhya Lila, chapter 7. Vasudev, a devotee who was affected by leprosy, and he came to meet Mahaprabhu. And just whenever reached, Mahaprabhu left that place, and he felt unconscious there listening to it. And Mahaprabhu understood that actually he came for him, and Mahaprabhu came back and he hugged him. And with the hug, his leprosy has gone completely, and he's become pure. So Lord is so mystical; he can understand because he is there within everyone's heart as a Paramatma. So can he understand whatever the devotee is thinking about? So that's why it's mentioned in the purport that the devotees always go to Krishna only, but they don't seek for help as such. But Krishna does it out of his affection for his devotee automatically. So this is we have seen in the case of Sudama. Sudama came to ask for help, but he did not ask any help, and at the end he felt shy and he left. But by the time he reaches home, everything is completely changed. His house is changed, opulence is changed, everything is changed. So Krishna can understand, and Krishna does it automatically. We did not ask for specifically for help as such, and completely depend on Krishna. And living entities, though part of inferior energy, superior energy like marginal energy, are prone to fall down or affected by this material nature. Um, and the Lord is everywhere. He is invisible uh, because he is visible only to surrender devotees, not to everybody. So he makes himself as invisible. So we said like Hiranyamaya Patrana in Ishopanishad, it is covered by an effulgence which is uncovered only when one becomes pure enough and become a devotee or completely surrendered to Krishna. That's all for this.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Kiran Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, everybody. Very simple. And I think the more and more we get into this, it is not rocket science. The Lord Krishna protects his devotees from inside, from outside, everywhere around you. And his power, his energy, his omnipotency, his omniscience, his omnipresence is inconceivable. And with that level of power goes great responsibility. He has such great mercy and responsibility for his creation and his creativity that he doesn't forget or lose sight of his devotees. Parikshit was protected in the womb. Even a developing embryo was able to pay his obeisances. And Prahlad and Dhruva and so many others have realized the significance of the Lord's unconceivable nature. And hence, Kunti saw that his impending departure was going to be quite painful. And so she offered prayers. And so I think the lesson for me is don't ask the Lord for anything. If he is within, without, and within every living molecule, atom that exists and that has ever existed, then what else is there to say? You know, this is the Paramatma, and therefore the Paramatma should be revered with such glory that we should recognize that the mercy that is showered upon us is like mercy like no others. You can't count the raindrops equally. The torrent of mercy that is tsunamied upon us is beyond comprehension. Don't ask for anything. He knows what you require and what you need. I've stopped asking because he knows everything. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, I mean, just talking about these prayers, I've got something here that Srila Prabhupada, he offered prayers after arriving in the West. These prayers reveal the heart of the devotee. And these are like his personal prayers, the consciousness of the devotee. And when we associate with these prayers, the qualities that are exhibited by these devotees of the Lord are contagious. Because we've just started on Kunti Mata's prayers, So it's appropriate to just mention this, that what prayers that we are reading of a particular devotee, their qualities are contagious because they are like they're coming from within. So you become infected by these qualities. Therefore, hearing these prayers increase our solace, increases our faith, our confidence, purifies the heart, and we attract the same qualities as they imbibe. So associating with these prayers is very beneficial. So these Kunti Mata's prayers, I think from 18, which we just
243.
to up to 40 verse 43. So we will go through them, and the benefit of meditating on these prayers, that we get the qualities of these particular personalities. Although I think there's like 125 prayers in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from various personalities, but we'll focus on Kunti Mata's prayer, which are very, very famous, and they all came from the heart. It's not like she's a poet or something, and she all came from the heart. So I think Guru Mataji are listening only today.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah. But I just want to add, it's faith and full surrender to Krishna, and how Queen Kunti is glorifying, and it's very powerful what you've said, that when we read prayers offered by the exalted people, then we imbibe their qualities. Even in material life, they say, if we talk about somebody, you are getting their qualities, so we shouldn't like bad talk about anybody. So the opposite is true as well. So we do get the qualities when we're reading, and we can only sincerely pray that we can get some sort of even few percent of the devotion Kunti Pandavas had. They only fully surrendered to Krishna. They didn't know anybody else. They wouldn't go to anybody else. But we sometimes shake, and but like from personal experience, when Prabhu had an operation, I just left it to Krishna. Like before, I'll say, do this, Krishna, do this. So my thing was, whatever is best for him, Krishna, you only do. And Krishna, I felt the presence on every step. I like to quickly share the day I dropped him in the emergency thing. I could not even find a parking space. I had to drive quite far to find a parking space. And then I saw this nurse in nurse uniform, and I said, oh, do you think I'll find parking? I stopped to ask her, and she said, oh, I'm going to pull my car, then you can park there. And then she offered me help to drop me to the hospital. And I said, Krishna, you're wonderful, So when we have faith, anything can happen. And like a pure devotee doesn't ask for anything. Krishna knows. He is the protector, he's the maintainer, he's the controller. So all we need is just faith and the simplicity. Yesterday we were just watching a few clips of Karma Bai, how she was making khichdi even without showering. And Krishna, the Lord was happy to accept it. It's the bhav that we serve Lord with. And then again, there was another story of little boy, I think it was Vishnudat, or Vishnudat, and how he used to talk to the Lord. And that was so nice to hear. And then I was thinking that like we don't have that sort of relationship. We just do little prayers, and I don't really talk much to the Lord. So, but like you said, when we read about these, it is contagious, and we learn from these personalities. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, just we see when we become qualified, we see the hand of Krishna in our lives. So it's so nice that we can see that Krishna is reciprocating here, and how he's helping us in these situations. And the other thing is, we read all the time that we should have austerity of speech, and which means that only talk about Krishna Katha or glorify Krishna. Obviously, when you have dealings with people, you have to obviously speak, about the business, or if you're in the shops, you have to deal with this and that, the normal things. But I think it's more about talking about things, irrelevant things. And I sort of picked up on that. I was just one of my customers. I started speaking to him, and then the conversation was going a bit in the wrong direction. And I think for the first time, I became conscious of my own speech, that I'm wasting time and energy, and why am I saying what I'm just saying? And sort of I stopped. I said, "No, this is what we do. We get carried away with our speech, with us, following Krishna's instructions, following Srila Prabhupada's instructions, that we only should say things that glorify the Lord. If we're just talking generally, doing general talk, then it should be about Krishna and not about unnecessary chatter which has no meaning basis whatsoever." Thank you, Mataji. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Pranams to all of you. Yes, we have to conserve energy. Energy is Krishna, and we have been given energy for the right reasons, to glorify Lord. And yes, rightly said, we just forget our goal from moment to moment. So we have to, bring the mind, bring ourselves back on track from time to time. Yes, a lot of things which stand out today. It's the start of a beautiful section of Bhagavatam, prayers of Mother Kunti. Mother Kunti is queen as well, and Mother Kunti is a great devotee as well, and she is the mother of the great Maharathis around whom Mahabharata has been woven. And there is Krishna. Krishna is her nephew, but he's very dear to Mother Kunti. And yes, we all wait for those prayers as they unfold in the verses from Friday. What stands out for me today was in the purport, in the last verses purport, when Srila Prabhupada defines Maya. Maya is the checking curtain. So Srila Prabhupada doesn't stops amazing us. Every day there's punchlines in the purport which stand out, which reveal the whole thing. And thank you, Srila Prabhupada, and just give us some focus and give us some steadfastness, that when we are going through these lines, we can understand what you have been trying to convey to us through these purports. Another thing was that when it says in verse 17, chaste devotee only looks upon Krishna. So, few things, they just sum up everything. So, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam can be explained in days and months and years, and it can also be condensed in few sentences as well. So that's the beauty of these Shastras. Then again, all these are Krishna himself, isn't it? Whether it's Shastra, whether it's the spiritual master, whether it's the jivas around us, even us, we are all parts and parcel of Krishna. So we have to look far to understand Krishna. We have to look within to understand Krishna. We have to look around to understand Krishna. So Krishna is so merciful. So as a Bhagwan, Paramatma, and Brahman, he's there all around us. So according to our capacity, according to our choice, according to our situation, we can look upon Krishna. We don't have to ask anything. He's there. When somebody is there with you 24/7, then what do you need to ask from him? He has literally, taken us upon his, in his own lap. We are literally in Krishna's lap all the time. And what else did stand out for me today was, how the gopis' prayers, when it was being explained in the class, that they just wanted to serve Krishna. They didn't even care for rejection, like Mahaprabhu has aptly written in Shikshashtakam. So yeah, simple, but still a lot to learn. We can learn, we can understand, but then we have to repeat, because human life is about all this, isn't it? We hear, we learn, then again we repeat the same process over and over again, like everything else we do in our life, isn't it? We buy, we cook, we eat, we digest, we sleep. They all go in kind of a circle. So exactly, the learning is also in the same way. So let us keep learning and learn more from the Queen's Kunti's prayers, which will be unfolding shortly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So just was the 18 is the first verse of Queen Kunti's prayers. So it's just to mention that Krishna says, why are you offering obeisance to your nephew? Because she starts paying obeisances to him, starts glorifying him, and like he said, aunt, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you offering obeisances to your nephew? And she says, no. That's then when she starts speaking that. So first she pays obeisances to him, and then she starts her prayers. And he says, you can't do this. I'm your nephew. I should be touching your feet, and why are you glorifying me like that? And then she starts saying that you're not only my nephew, but you are the Supreme Lord, and you exist from within and without. So this is the first thing she mentions in her praise, in glorification to Krishna. So Jesus, that's her first start, that you're the Supreme, and then she will go on her observations and her realizations about the Lord. And the Lord thought, this is my aunt, and she loves me, her nephew, but now she reveals her real heart, that what she knows, and what she's learned and what she's observed. Okay, so thank you all so much. We'll catch up again on Friday, and look forward to this. Thank you for your association. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Gaur
Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.